What is up, everybody, and welcome to Expanded Skyrim Weaponry. So this is a weapon mod that actually came out a little bit ago, but it kind of went on under my radar, at least, maybe not under everyone's radar. But basically what this mod is going to add in is a ton of lore-friendly weapons into Skyrim. In total, it's going to add in 19 totally standalone weapons, but a lot of these actually come in many different variants. So 19 weapons, again, standalone, but a lot of those are going to have iron, ebony, daedric, glass, and even some dwarven and other crazy variants to kind of build them in. So a very expansive weapon mod, probably the biggest weapon mod we have thus far, the biggest one I've seen, and all around a lot of cool and very unique weapons added in by this. So as you can see, taking a closer look at some of the weapons, they definitely are all meant to be very lore friendly. The name even suggests Expanded Skyrim Weaponry. It's not meant to change anything about the core game, rather just add on to the weapons you already have, and I think this mod does an excellent job of doing that. Some of these are crazy mix mashes of weapons you kind of see in the game already. Other ones are totally unique that you probably didn't even think of. All around, it's a very cool mod, and again, there's a lot of variety here. I do want to reinforce that point. As I go through this video, I'm probably going to only, except for one example, show you only one variant of the weapon, but all these do have many different variants that I'm not even showing you in this video because then it would probably be over an hour long. So this is going to be the only example I give you guys that shows you kind of more than one variant of a weapon. Regardless, here we do have the longsword. This is going to be a weapon added in by this mod. As you can see, it's pretty standard. I mean, it's just a longsword. We have these in vanilla Skyrim. Right now I'm holding the ebony variant. Well, now if we go, we also do have a different variant here. This one I believe is going to be the Nordic variant, and as you can see, it looks totally different. Yeah. Like these two swords, although being the same sword, do look almost totally different. As you can also see by that draw animation, this version of the longsword is actually going to be one-handed, while the ebony version is going to be two-handed. And then if we go even further, we do have an orcish version as well, which is going to be kind of more of the base model. A lot of these are going to look similar to this one. And then after that, we do have, I believe this is the silver one, the perfect silver variant. As you can see, this one looks a little bit more similar to the orcish version. And then finally, last but not least, we do have just a boring old steel variant, which again, it looks kind of similar. But compare the old steel variant to the ebony variant. As you can see, there's some massive differences there, and then especially if you look at this variant, which I believe is the Nordic one again. All around, a very cool mod again, and I just want to reinforce this idea. Although I'm showing you only one weapon each through this video, there are a lot of variations there. So just to show you kind of how expansive this mod is, I don't really know how to make this video because there are so many different weapons, and I don't have the time to show you them all. I'm going to show you some of the different kind of categories, I guess you could call them. Like right now, I'm going to show you the sword category. So first and foremost, we have the dueling sword. So as you can see, it's going to add in this pretty cool looking sword. It's going to be a one-handed sword. I believe I'm using the ebony version right here. And as you can see, it is a very cool and interesting looking sword. Well, if maybe that's not for you, then you also do have a totally different sword, this being the claymore. So this is going to be a very large sword. This is going to be kind of like the sword you see from, I don't know, it's in a lot of movies. But as you can see, this one looking very cool and very interesting, but again, being a very heavy and kind of powerful looking sword. Then maybe that's not even enough for you. You also do have the berserker sword. So it's going to be a little bit different. This one's going to have some more curves in the sword as opposed to the claymore. The claymore is kind of just like a big ass sword with a pretty cool and interesting hilt. This is the Dwemer version right here. And then we do have the berserker sword, which kind of looks like a little bit more rough and dirty, as you can see right there. And I will take this moment to kind of, some of these weapons actually only have single variants. So, for example, the Berserker Sword is only in Dwarven, Nordic, and Orcish. Some of them are only in one. So, for example, there's only an Orcish short sword, which we can get into, I believe. I don't actually think I have that one on me. But regardless, here we do also have the longsword that I was showing in the initial part. But yeah, again, some of these weapons only have single variants. It's like kind of like they're a special weapon is how I'm doing it. A lot of them do have 10 plus variants that you can get, but some of them, again, only having one. Well, let's actually take these and go kill some enemies. I did place down some guys over here. And this is also a good opportunity to show you these are actually implemented into the leveled list. So as you can see, this guy has, I don't know, some kind of Dwemer weaponry. These are just some bandits right here. This guy has one of the hammers added in by this mod. I also do have immersive armors, so that's why their armors might look a little bit more interesting. Let's take out one of these bigger swords though. So here we do have the Berserker sword. that we can kind of hit people with. And as you can see, all around, it's very cool. It's definitely going to be one of those mods that you're going to see if you install. So as you can see, even right here, we do have a lot of these guys with... That guy just get taller. We do have a lot of these guys holding some of these weapons. Go for the longsword here, which this is going to be the one-handed version of the longsword. And we could go for the claymore here, which that's going to pack a serious punch, as you can see. And yeah, all around a very, very cool and expansive mod. Just wanted to show you one variation of one of the weapons. Now let's show you another. So, you know, maybe swords aren't really your type. You're not a sword user. It's okay. I understand. I can kind of relate. Not really, though. Regardless, we do have some other options as far as weapon goes, and this time we're going to be looking at some of the different blunt weapons added in by this mod. So we do right here have a club. This is going to be a dragon bone club. This thing actually packs a seriously powerful punch, although it looks relatively innocent. Then we also do have just a mallet. One of the guys over there was actually using this exact weapon. I think he still is. I turned off AI, or maybe it's the one I killed, I believe. Yeah, but one of these guys was using just a normal mallet. Oh, this guy is. Only one true mallet user. Regardless, as you can see, basically just is adding in this cool little looking mallet. Well, maybe even that is not enough. So then you do have a hammer. This is obviously going to be a Dwemer hammer, and as you can see, this thing looks freaking awesome. So you could definitely beat some people down with this thing, and again, it looks really, really cool. I really like the look of the Dwemer hammer, but you know, maybe even that wasn't really floating your boat. Well, then you also do have a quad hammer. So this right here is the glass quad hammer. It's a little hard to see, but as you can see, adding in basically just 4 kind of things on a hammer there. This thing's gonna pack a pretty strong punch, as you may guess right there. I am using an immersive armor, in case you're wondering. And yeah, this one being very cool. And then kind of coming back all around, you just have a maul right here, which this thing's really interesting, I think, or at least I find. And it basically is just, I don't know how you describe that. It's just kind of metal things on a stick there, which is very cool. I actually really like the look of this one. This is probably one of my favorite weapons in this category. So we could turn these guys back on and actually go back to killing them as they will, and we could beat him down real quickly. And these guys didn't realize I was fighting them, even though I killed their friend. Regardless, yeah, as you can see, that thing's going to be pretty cool. Here comes Lydia. And we could go back to our just normal hammer and beat this guy down. So, I mean, that's a lot of the weapons in here. I'm going to show you one more category of just kind of the cooler weapons that I found to be, I guess, my favorite. Are you alive? What are you doing? And just my favorite out of the mod, and then we'll wrap up this video. So now what I find again to be the most interesting weapons added by this mod, and a lot of these are the ones that are going to be like standalone. So for example, I do have the Daedric Scythe right here, and as you can see, this is adding in a pretty cool and interesting scythe into the game. It is very big. I kind of pictured this when I first read about it to be a little bit smaller, but again, there's only a Daedric version of this. You can't get a glass version or an ebony version or anything like that. Well, we also do have another pretty interesting mod. This is going to be the curve blade, and it's hard to see because it's so freaking small. Like that's it. You're not missing anything. It's just a very small little blade right here. I do have a dragon bone version, but this thing's pretty cool. You could definitely beat people down with this. Probably one you're gonna want to dual wield or something like that. Well, then we also do have this one. I actually really like this weapon just in general. This is gonna be a halberd. So as you can see, it's gonna more or less gonna be like a big stick with blades on one side. So I guess that's the best way to describe it. But as you can see, a pretty cool and interesting weapon. Again, going to be kind of a heavier weapon that you're going to want to poke enemies down with. But speaking of poking enemies, we also do have a spear. So as you can see, this is going to be, I believe this is a glass spear right here. And it's just going to be kind of your normal spear. I wish you could poke with it. Unfortunately, you can't. You just swing it around at people, which is still pretty cool. And you could like stab them down that way. And then last but not least, we have the composite axe, which this one is pretty funny. This one is actually only Nordic, just like the first one there was only Daedric. And as you can see, it basically is an axe mixed with a sword. So I got a pretty big kick out of this one. I enjoyed looking at this quite a bit. But I did place down some more enemies. So let's turn them on right now. And we actually have to attack them first for them to realize I'm over here. So let's just stab him. And then there you go. So Lydia, go run in for me because I don't want to die. And as you can see, the composite axe does some serious damage. I think I'm almost one-shotting people there. And we could switch back to the Daedric Scythe though. And oh yeah, look at that. That's some nice damage right there. Oh, this guy is actually using a sword or a weapon from the mod. What weapon is that? Oh, I think that's just one of the battle axes added in. Ooh, that was some serious Serious stuff right there. So let's now actually use the dragon blade, and as you can see, we could just stab this guy down really quickly. And as you can see, this guy actually as well is using, he was using just a double axe added in. I tried to not show you some of the more boring weapons. I tried to only show you the more interesting ones. So let's switch over to the halberd here, and this guy has a hammer on his hands. Oh wow, did we just one-shot that guy? I think we're one-shotting almost all these guys. So let's beat him down right there, like so. And can we finish him off? Can we finish him off? What do we have left? Oh yeah, we do have a spear as well, so let's actually use this thing. I have yet to use this. And not the fastest attacking, although all these heavier weapons, I didn't mention that really, but these definitely do pretty good damage comparatively to everything else in there. We could beat him down with the spear. So that's pretty much it for this video. I showed you a good chunk of the weapons. I'll show you how many I actually have in my inventory. I had to be in God mode to make this, but as you can see, these are all weapons added in. I do have all those variants of the longswords, but otherwise, a lot of these are single. This is just one of the weapons. So it's not like I have multiple variants of them. These are just, as you can see, a staff. We have a scythe, the club. But again, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed as always. Definitely worth a download in my eyes. This is probably one of the better weapon mods out for Skyrim right now. It is available on Xbox One and PC. As always, I thank you guys for watching. And I do hope to see you all next time. Later.